friendship bracelets, and I just recently started selling some.
About one. It's beautiful.
I like making them. They're fun, I guess. In a way, I own a business, but not really. Yeah.
Gigi, this is marketing. What do they cost?
Oh.
How
Oh.
can they find you if they want to find you?
Okay, so I make friendship bracelets, and I make friendship bracelets because when I went to California last summer, I went for an upward bound program that's based in math and science, and I want to become a marine biologist. And I guess one of the things I was like really hip down there was making bracelets, and I'm connected with this girl named Kadena who I really like felt like she's still someone I talk to today, even though she lives in California. And she taught me how to make them, and on my own I kind of explored the meaning behind them, and I found out that friendship bracelets are just more, they're not just like, pieces of string that you put together and you make cool designs. It's like, it actually means something, and it signifies a relationship. It's kind of like a marriage. Like the ring that the woman wears on her finger, it signifies that I'm married to this man. Like we buy the same band and stuff like that, and making two of the same bracelets could kind of let that other friend know, like, I have this bracelet and so do you, so you mean something to me, and I hope I mean something to you. And the person who makes the bracelet, when you put the bracelet on, it shouldn't fall, when it falls off, whatever wish is granted, whatever that wish that person that makes the bracelet has for you, when they put it on your wrist, they have that wish in mind, and when it falls off, that wish is supposed to come true. But I just make them, like, not with the intent to sell, not with the intent to have people buy them. I just do it just because, like, people who I give them to or, like, share them with, just, they mean something to me. Like, I give them a lot. Mine from my sisters, because my sisters are 4 and 6, and they mean the world to me, and I want them to grow up to be just as amazing as me, if not better than me. So I make them for them and my great grandmother, and now I'm being convinced to sell them, but it just kind of seems hard, just because it's like this is something I do. It would be like selling my poetry, I guess, because my poetry is just something that I do. It's not something that's for sale. So.
And are you selling your poetry?
Oh, see. I guess, yes, I am. I have made a book, and I am selling my poetry, but it's all copywritten, so it's okay. Yes, I'm selling my poetry. It's in a book. It's called Wrote This Because of You, and it's a compilation of poetry that I've written from like 13 up until now, and I think anyone who reads it can definitely, the journey I've been through and went on is evident, and sometimes just going back through it, I think I enjoyed the process of picking out the poems and typing them up, because there was moments where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so filthy. And then there were moments where it was like, you really thought this way. But I'm going to put this poem in this book anyway, because I want people to know that I've grown. So I think my poetry is the biggest way you could ever see that I've grown.
Where do we find it?
Stay tuned. Keep in touch with PB.
Yeah, stay tuned. Keep in touch with PB.
Daisy, with just following up about the friendship bracelets, are you having a business to teach people how to make friendship bracelets, or are you selling the bracelets themselves?
I'm selling the bracelets themselves, and I'm figuring out. It's kind of like a challenge for me, because like I just learned how to make this pattern called inverse, and it takes about 2 days to make, or if you do it in one sitting, maybe an hour and a half.
Right.
And that just takes a lot of concentration and focus. And for me, that's been that's the thing I go to when my home environment is hectic. Like everybody's doing their own thing. I just sit down, and that's like the hardest pattern is a pattern that I'll try to get right. I'll mess up a couple of times, waste some string, but it's keeping me focused, and it prevents other things in my household from getting worse than what they already are. So that's kind of where I go to, and through that, it's kind of been like, okay, at first I was making them for fun, now I'm selling them, and like I'm a businesswoman, I guess. Like I'm a businesswoman, so kind of like a growth process as well. Grown.
Just open to this is for all three of you. From your experience with PB, what does activism mean to you?
Okay. I think activism means like reaching out, like trying to do stuff, trying to better your community, or trying to like, what's a good word for it? Be a leader in some sort.
For me, it's sort of like that, but I feel like activism for me is like having something set in your mind of like vision of something you see better going on not even in your community, like maybe like your neighborhood or your school, and going through and like talking to the right people and having that goal or whatever you vision be met. It's being passionate about something and going to do it, but the thing you're passionate about is for bettering something.
How did you find this group? Like, what were you doing when you started coming?
How I found this group, well, the group found me. Like I went to Aki and like Aki and Mercer, I think that the school is like two of the groups that PB goes in. They have girls groups. So I don't know how I got chosen or if it's random. I guess I got chosen.
You got chosen.
Yeah. So like we just had a girls group. It was like my 7th grade year, my 8th grade year, and they like take us out of class for like a whole like hour, a whole period. I was like, ooh yes, and I'd be like, oh you should take me out of 4th because I don't want to be in there. So they take me out of class and we just like do activities, get to know each other, get to know ourselves better, and then they presented the job through SYEP, and SYEP's through like Divas, because that's Divas is at PD in the summer.
SYP is Seattle Youth Employment Program through the city,
Right?
Yeah.
so we partner with them.
And Divas?
DIVAS is the acronym. It stands for Develop Your Voice and Speak, and it's one of our job programs.
And then they presented that to me, so okay, I'll do it. Plus you get paid, so I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So ever since then I've just been here.
I got involved with PB through Ruby. They do girl groups through those schools, but then they also do them in the juvenile systems. And in there, we did a lot of sex ed stuff. And this is funny because I know a lot about the whole sex ed and safe sex and the STDs and all of that. And they were like, you're really good at this stuff. And then they told me about the program. And like she said, you were getting paid. And at first it was about the money, but then after like doing it, it wasn't about the money.
And Sarah's actually presented on behalf of PB at the Washington State Sexual Education Conference in SeaTac last, like a year ago. What about you, Deez? How'd you get involved?
When I was in middle school, we had, what is it? I went to Hamilton, so we had what's called Hamilton out of school time, I think it was called, or something like that. And there was like, they would give you a calendar of all the after school programs you could do, and I seen Girls Rap. It was called Girls Rap then, and I was like, Girls Rap, no, I'm not doing that program. I don't want to rap. So then I think like you have like 3 weeks to get all your paperwork in, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I was like in 6th grade, and I was like, well, I want to do something. So then someone came up to me and told me what Girls Rap stands for, and it's Right Action Power, and I was like, okay, I want to be a part of that. And then just slowly but surely, girls groups became a part of who I was and my culture at school. So if you wasn't in Girls Rap at my school, you wasn't cool. Like, you guys aren't in Girls Rap? What? So it was like, I just got involved with it, I liked it, and I stayed, and I met a lot of other people being in Girls Rap. I got to do really cool things. Like that's when I first developed I love photography. Like my love through photography is being in Girls Rap and being able to experience so much stuff. And like it was odd for me because I had been taken out of a place where everything was secretive and you didn't really talk about certain things, and certain things were taboo to a place where I didn't really know people, but we felt comfortable talking about things that were taboo in a room. And that made me feel like, okay, there's a world beyond what people have shown me or what's been placed in front of me.
And the crazy twist of fate is DZ came back to us, so she finished middle school, kind of split ways with PB. It was different staff at the time. And she got referred to me for a job through someone else, and in her interview she was saying all these things that we do at PB, step up, step back, and then I found out she was in Girls Rap. So I think too, Seattle being a small, big town, and like, I think some of it is fate. She kind of came back in, and we got blessed to know her because when she was in Girls Rap, I don't think any of us were at PB at the time. Rita did. So it's cool because I can can go through our computer and find pictures of her in 6th grade.
Which we do and show her a lot.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, how you think your involvement with like PV or any other groups have affected your relationship, or how you view your relationship with other girls or women?
Me?
All of you.
It's kind of changed my relationship with women because I don't like girls my age. I don't like girls my age. And like there's been a few times where like I was with my last case manager, Sarah, and I'm like, man, like this lady, like we were in the car, she's trying to cut us off and run us over, and I'm like, Sarah, you want to get off this car? You want to get off this car? And she's like, no, Angelica, just sit down. Don't worry about it. When people do stuff like that to you, you just don't worry about it. I said, no, I'll really get off this car. So you get off this car. And she's like, so they taught me like how to like try to refrain myself from acting in a violent way.
That's awesome. That was awesome.
I think being in girls groups has, like, I remember going into girls groups, I would always be like, I don't like girls. Like, ugh, I don't want to be in a room full of them. They're messy, they're catty, I can't stand it. And now, I actually have very good relationships with women. Are you okay?
Yeah. Sorry. That's like the 5th time I did that.
I have really good relationships with women and horrible relationships with guys. So I think everything is kind of switched and flip-flopped. I feel good to have good like relationships with women and being able to talk to them because I feel like that was something I was missing all my middle school years. Like I really, really wanted to communicate with my mom, but didn't know how and didn't even see my grandma as a vital source to talk to. But my grandma knows everything, and I talk to her all the time now. Like that is my best friend. But it's still like, and even with my mom, we've kind of grown, we shrank, and then we grew again. So it's like that's a work in progress, but it's helped me a lot.
I wasn't really one who had a lot of girlfriends. I was more the one to hang out with the guys. But after being through PB, like it just a lot of things clicked. Like a lot of the sexist moments, like never really thought about those. But now when I look at things, I'm like, oh no, that's sexist. I'm not putting up with it. So it's like with Easy, like now like any kind of frustration and anger I have is put towards Lynn because the things like I'd be looking at other girls be like, wow, really? She's gonna do that? Really? Oh, okay then. But like I shouldn't be getting mad at her. It's like the guys you're supposed to be getting mad at because they're doing something, but like, we're all like set on how things have been because of the way guys put it at. And so like now I'm thinking, okay, the guys are the ones putting it out like this, so why am I getting mad at some girl when I should be getting mad at a guy? So I have a lot more female friends, and I feel like a lot of us women, we have so much in common, but we never took the time before to be like, wait, what? We really have that in common? And so, like, it's easier for me to talk to more girls now because I realize we do have so much in common. We want to talk a lot about the same thing, but sometimes, like before, we just couldn't because we just couldn't.
Can I add to that? I agree with Sarah because like when you walk in a room full of girls, like say I didn't know these two, and I would walk in a room with them, like there'll automatically be tension, like, cause females like they like to like be compatible and they like to not compatible in the sense like
Go together.
yeah, but like in the compatible in the sense like
she's alright.
look at what she
Look
got
at
on.
you.
Like I don't know, there's like competition all of them, or like if a girl walk in and I'll be like, did you see those tracks?
Right?
like
Real.
it's like a competition always. So PV kind of taught me like not to judge a book before you get to know them. So that's another thing.
Oh, you go first, Sarah.
Thank you. You guys are very inspiring young women.
Thank you.
Pleased to be a woman alongside you. In terms of social change, what do you want? I mean, what would you change in the world if you could just wrap it in like one little tight sentence?
Oh, don't get me started. This women under men dynamic, that no. Really, if I had the power to change things, men wouldn't be able to run for president. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that they want to change in the world, and because they have a mind of a man, they can't, like, see past their stubborn ways. And there's just things that women can do that men can't do. Women are stronger than men. We really are. I mean, we can have babies. They can't.
Yeah.
And so,
Can't argue with that.
by us being under them, like, it has us having more hate towards each other. Like, guys will go out and say one word to a girl, and the next thing you know, her best friend is not her best friend anymore. So, my one sentence, having the dynamic structure change between men and women.
I think, I'm trying to think. I think it would be knowing yourself. Because, like, through PB, like, you do exercises and you really get to know yourself. And for a long time, I've been trying to, like, figure out who I was as a person. But as I entered more activities through PB, I started to realize who I was. And even though, like, I'm only 17, like, I'm still growing, I'm still maturing into who I want to be. But, like, I feel like you should know yourself before you get involved with anything else. Like, you should know who you are as a person before you try to, like, through life you gain experiences and you try different stuff so you realize who you are as you go along. But I think a big role in society or social life, yeah, like, is knowing yourself, because that way you'll be able to alternate, you'll be able to, like, try different things and control yourself.
I think socially one of the things that I would probably change is the stigma that women, we can't. Like, there's always a we can't do something in front of who we are. Like, women cannot, or we can't do, or because this I cannot. Like, there are certain things that just need to be removed. Like, why are there stigmas there, period? Because as time goes on, the inevitable isn't the inevitable anymore, and the impossible isn't the impossible anymore. So I feel like that doesn't just apply to government or politics or schools or technology. That applies to race, color, creed, like all types of stuff. What you thought I couldn't do, I always knew I could, and now I'm showing you that I can. And I just feel like sometimes women are stigmatized. Like, I feel like me as a female, I'm stigmatized because I feel I'm not supposed to do certain things. It's not okay for me to be selfish. I'm supposed to love and care about everyone, but everyone doesn't love and care about me, so I have to take care of me. Because you're not taking care of me, he's not taking care of me, and they can't love me the way I need to love me, so I'm going to give myself the utmost respect before. I'm not going to not respect people around me, but I'm going to respect me first. So I feel like the stigmas of, like, women can't do this or we shouldn't do that because it doesn't look good. And the stigma of, like, we're only supposed to care about everybody else and take care of ourselves last should be completely removed and erased, because it's like society is a dog-eat-dog world. So, like, everyone's trying to get ahead for the advancement of themselves and not the advancement of everyone around them.
Oh, you guys are deep. I wasn't like you when I was young.
Bravo. Who are some of your role models?
I love this question.
You know this one already.
Was there really
I don't like this question because it took me a while to figure out who I had as a role model. I always just say I don't have any role models. So now I say my grandma's my role model because she's someone I talk to a lot, and I just think, I don't know, I wouldn't say I have one role model. I would say I have a collection of them. Like, you have a collection of books, you have a collection of people that you just think are fabulous. And as I've thought about it in my life, I have role models ranging back from kindergarten up until now. They've all either been family members, friends, or teachers. Like, I've had some amazing women teachers in my life who have just been outstanding, and if I like seeing them today, I would worship the ground they walk on because they've helped me develop from a young age through, like, that transition of adolescence to a young adult. I have a lot of role models. So.
I wouldn't say, I mean, this may sound bad, but I wouldn't say that I have a specific role model. I mean, yeah. how to say, I don't know how to say that word. Because it always sounds weird. Say it again. Specific. See, it sounds weird, so I won't say it. You guys know what I mean. Like, because, I don't know, I just never felt like I had one specific but I have a lot of women in my life that I admire certain things in them, but there's no one who's just like, man, you're the bomb. I mean, everybody has some of the bomb in them, but everybody's just not the bomb.
That's because you don't blow up.
That was the most corniest joke.
They laugh. They're corny.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't say my role model is like a person I know. Like, my role model is women who go for what they want and are able to get through the rough patches in their life and do what they set their mind to. So my role model isn't a specific person I know. It's women who go through life doing amazing stuff.
I think we have time for about one more question. Jane, did you have a question?
Yeah.
Angela, too.
I
Oh,
had
Angela.
I had a question for Sarah. At first, I was going to ask you, kind of what you talked about your daughter and what you wanted for her. So I wanted to know, like, what are your dreams for your daughter? But then I thought you all probably have young women in your lives, nieces or sisters, or I don't know. So when you think about like the, whether they're a baby or a toddler or, 7-year-old girl, what do what are your dreams for them?
Really, like I always tell her that she's so amazing. I mean, she is so amazing, but she's just so amazing because I want her to go up thinking she can do anything because she can. So, like, my dream for her is to just for her to go through life being happy. I mean, successful, everyone uses this word, but I feel like successful is really just being happy in whatever you're doing. And we have this discussion at home a lot about, like, what sport she's going to play. And everyone's like, no, she's going to play this, no, she's going to play this. And my thing is she's going to play whatever she wants to play. And if you guys don't like it, oh well, because we're going to support her in what she's going to play. And so by giving her everything she needs, me being prepared and giving her everything she needs so that way she can do ballet or go to clown college or whatever she feels like doing, she can do. That's where I'm going. I just want her to be happy in life.
I would say to tell my little sister, like, I don't get to talk to my little sister that much, but like, cause she's still like, even though she's like a little older, she still has like, I don't want to say a little kid mentality, but she's still in fairy world, fairyland. She is. But like, once she gets snaps out of that, I feel like I'm gonna talk to her and tell her to like, she can do anything she wants to as long as she dedicates herself. Like, a lot of people say you can do anything that you want to do as long as you put your mind to it, but like when you really just dedicate yourself and say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like you can do it. Because like, this lady used to work with PV through Americorps, was it? Maddie, and she was my poetry coach, and like I didn't think that I could do like spoken word, like standing in front of everybody doing it like that, because I never did it before. And I worked with her a few times, and then I was like, okay, I got this. And then like she started a poetry group at GTOC, and then I would come like every Monday, and I'd be like the first person, okay, I want to read you guys my new poem, da 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 da. So after a while she left, and I really wanted to have a poetry group there. So me and my cousin, we started our own poetry group at GTOC, and it took a lot of time because I had to plan the curriculum. I had to plan like the snacks, who was going to sponsor us for the food. I had to plan where I was going to get the supplies from and what days it was going to be and who was going to help out, who was going to, even though I was going to be the youth facilitator, I had to have like a person older than me to help facilitate too. So like it took a lot, but like I actually did it. And I would talk to her about like pushing herself and like being organized with the things she wants to do, like write a plan, like you're gonna do this, but how you gonna get there? Like what are the steps you're gonna take to do this? and I would talk to her about like not letting someone control her mind, because I think that's really important, because like I can talk to somebody and they can like change my whole outlook on something even though I want to do this, you know what I mean? Or a boy comes along and tell her, even though she thinks that she doesn't want to do that, he's talking her into it. Like, I feel like I just think those two things are really important to talk to my sister about.
I have two sisters, and like those are like my best friends. So like yesterday we went to the park, and I took them to this place called Kubota Gardens, not too far from where I live. And my mom is not. I'm the person who likes to go camping in the middle of winter, and everybody in my family's like, why? Why are you doing this? Why would you do that? It's cold outside. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And of course I'm going, and they're not. So I kind of like took my sister. I instead of me telling them what to do, I put them in a position where they were in charge. So, and I have their 4 and 6, and so I let the one who's 6, she takes the initiative. She's the leader. She's like, yeah, I'm in charge. Can I be in charge? And can I be the leader? So we walked around the park, and we went through little trails, and I asked them, do you guys like to go on hikes? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, we're going on a hike right now. And they said, oh, really? I want to do this. And both of them playing the roles of leader, letting them know they could be in charge. I feel like indirectly letting them know that you are in charge and you possess the ability to do this. I think that's just what I want to give them. I want to let them know that you can do this. Like, they love dancing. One likes to sing and one likes to dance. So I harp on that. Like, I'm going to teach you this new song, and then we'll be walking in the grocery store, and she'll be like, remember? And that means a lot to me, because I'm giving something and I'm getting something back. And it's just a learning experience, because I'm 17 and I'm seeing where I am in my life and where they can be. And so it's just, I'm looking at, like, I feel like I'm time traveling every time I talk to them, because they're 4 and they're talking about ABCs, and I'm kind of wishing they were the same age so we could talk about boys. But get there when I'm like 36 and she's 24. So I think I just want to give them the ability to just like go do it. Like, don't let family or friends or social norms or cultural norms or racial norms be the reason why you can't. Like, I let that be the reason why I couldn't do so much. And when I finally broke out of it, I was like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. Yes, I'm going camping and it's snowing outside, and I don't care. And eventually people accepted it, some don't, but oh well.
Thank you.
Angela, did you want to ask your question?
Well, you guys have shared several messages today, and I'm just curious of where those messages where they come from, and what will you do, what are you doing to change those messages, change the source of where those messages are coming from, or have different messages available?
Well, basically, like, where everything is coming from me is from my grandmother. The way I was brought up, this is where the not so great living situation was, and being told I can't do anything, or I'm an idiot for doing something, or, oh, you won't be able to do that, or don't do that, you're not making enough money. Like, I just was not happy at all. And so that's where everything is coming from, because I don't want that for my daughter at all. I don't want her growing up feeling like, oh, I want to do this, but I can't because so-and-so said I can't, so I can't. So by me going through and being, like, doing Powerful Voices and putting myself around a positive group of people, it's saying, like, she's going to have, like, influences like, okay, yep, I want to do this, I can do this. I don't want to do this, I don't have to do this. Like, she's going to have that positive influence to where she can be happy. My whole thing for her is just for her to be happy and love life, not to have, like, a stage of depression or a stage of I can't do this, or a stage of where, like, she's not loving herself, because she should be loving herself at all times. And so by me, and the way I'm doing that is by doing things like this for her, bringing her to things like that. I mean, I know she can't understand any of this really, but babies have, like, sense energy, And because there's so much positive energy in here, she's like, okay, this is what I need to get used to. This is what I love. So that way when she's around negative people, she'd be like, not loving this at all. You know, gotta get away from this. I don't need to be around this negative energy. Because some people, they don't sense the negative energy at first, and then they're in that negative situation. So they're like, maybe I'm supposed to be here, maybe I'm not. Like in abusive relationships, when the partner gets into that relationship, at first like, okay, it's cool. And then once their partner starts to isolate them, oh, okay, well, I can see that he or she wants to spend a lot of time with me. I'm okay with that. And then they start yelling and calling them names. Well, I guess, I shouldn't have done what I done. I should have did the dishes. And then it just keeps going on. And then next thing you know, they're actually getting beat up, and they just didn't realize that this was negative energy. So by putting around the positive energy, she'll know from the start, this isn't okay. Not doing it. Something's wrong here. Moving away from it.
I agree with Sarah. And I was going to add that, like I was saying, I don't have like a person who I'm saying who's just my one role model. Like I find different traits in different people who I admire. So like when I talk to them, I try to see why they do that and like what's their point of view on it. And like I consider it and I take it into my own world. Like I'm trying to see, for example, like like my cousin, like when I was younger, like my cousin, like I didn't really like, I like my cousin, like I love my cousin, but I didn't really like her that much because like I thought that she was like too grown, like she was just too much for me. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like once I got older and like been through middle school and I'm in high school now and I'm like seeing different stuff, like or instead of like always talking and jumping into stuff, I just sit back and I like really listen. Like now I'm like really listening. Like when I say listen, like every little thing you say or do, like I'm taking into consideration. I'm thinking, why are you doing that or stuff like that. Like I'm really paying more attention. I'm more aware. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just take different traits from different people, and one of the most important traits is listening. I just listen more than I used to. So.
I think I would say my experience, like my message that I'm trying to send out, and the things that I've experienced have come, like, that my message has strictly come from all the negative in my life. Like, all the negative that surrounded me that's like been the norm in my life. Like Sarah was saying, that negative, you get so used to it, you don't even know positive anymore. So to be happy, like to really actually be happy. I remember I started smiling for the first time in 7th grade, and people was like, oh my God, you have a beautiful smile. And then I started smiling to the point where my head would hurt. Like I'm smiling because I was so used to being angry, and so my message comes from all the positive. I keep thinking to myself, oh, the negative. I keep thinking, how can I take that negative and turn it around? How can I take what people have pushed at me that's not been so good and make it to where it's great for other people? How can I take my experience and send it out there so people can learn from it and not say, oh, well, this is normal. That's where my message comes from.
I do that too. And like all that negative energy that like be around me sometimes, like it's hard to like concentrate on school and stuff when you have like so much going on at home or in other places. Like I don't know, like it's just different stuff. So when like people be like telling me I can't do this or I can't do that, instead of like reacting, like getting cussing, yelling or doing stuff, I just be like, okay, watch this, and I go back. And like my auntie, like she thinks bad about me. I don't know why, but like for a long time she just thinks like negative about me, and I can like feel it, like I'm in the room with her, and she just always say like negative comments and stuff like that. So I don't even respond back to her. I don't like, ignore her. I just go to school and I come back to school and I'll be like, or I get sent letters from like schools in the mail, and I'll be like, oh mom, hello. I'll be like, oh mom, you see these credits I got at South Central? Like hello, and she just be looking like, yeah. Like I'm not even gonna say nothing to her. I'm just gonna prove you wrong. So that's another one.
So I just want to thank y'all for coming, and I apologize for scheduling stuff, and I appreciate you being here early. And the greatest part about, collectively, the greatest part, I think, if I can speak on behalf of Powerful Voices about the work that we do, is that we get to be in your lives and have you in our lives and learn from you every single day. And I think every time I meet with one of you, I learn something, or you crack me up, or you teach me something, and I just respect you as really bold, courageous leaders in the community. And the greatest part about us doing community trainings now is that y'all get to come out and teach, school us on some things. So, thanks so much for being here today.